Audrey Hepburn was not born into elegance. She learned it slowly, carefully, as a response to loss. To the world, Audrey Hepburn became the embodiment of grace. Effortless, delicate, timeless. But elegance was never a gift she inherited. It was something she constructed after surviving a childhood shaped by fear, absence, and hunger. Audrey Kathleen Rustin was born on May 4th, 1929, in Brussels. Her early life was marked by instability. Her parents' marriage fractured, and her father left when she was still a child. That abandonment stayed with her, a quiet wound she would later describe as one of the deepest pains of her life. But it was the Second World War that truly defined her. During the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands, Audrey lived in constant uncertainty. Food shortages were severe. Fear was ordinary. Hunger was not an idea. It was a daily reality. She witnessed executions. She lived through bombings. Her young body suffered extreme malnutrition, damage that would follow her for the rest of her life. As a child, Audrey danced ballet not for applause, but for survival. She performed in secret recitals to raise money for the Dutch resistance. Silence, restraint, and discipline were not artistic choices. They were survival skills. This is where her famously slender figure began, not as fashion, but as hunger. After the war, Audrey pursued ballet seriously. But the damage left by starvation meant her body could not endure the physical demands of a professional dancer's life. Another dream ended quietly, without drama. Acting entered her life not as ambition, but as adaptation. She moved to London. Small roles followed. Then, in 1951, while performing on Broadway in Gigi, she was noticed by Hollywood. Her presence felt different. Audrey was not loud. She was not overtly seductive. She was attentive, vulnerable, human. The camera did not dominate her. It listened to her. Her breakthrough came in 1953 with Roman Holiday, playing Princess and a young woman longing for freedom beneath duty. Audrey revealed something deeply personal. The role mirrored her inner life, restraint paired with longing. The film made her an international star and earned her an Academy Award, but it also fixed her image as an icon overnight. Hollywood quickly shaped her into a new kind of femininity. In Sabrina, Audrey embodied transformation, a quiet shift from simplicity to sophistication. But beneath the surface, the story echoed her own life, the need to change in order to be accepted. Funny Face allowed her to return briefly to dance. On screen, movement looked light and joyful. But for Audrey, dance was also a reminder of what war had taken from her body. In 1961, Breakfast at Tiffany's permanently etched Audrey Hepburn into cultural memory. Holly Golightly appeared carefree and charming, yet emotionally unrooted and constantly escaping. Audrey once said she understood Holly deeply. It was perhaps the role that came closest to her own emotional landscape. My Fair Lady followed, a triumph and a controversy. The decision to dub her singing voice revealed how much control Hollywood still exerted over her image. She was adored, but rarely fully trusted with autonomy. Across her films, Audrey portrayed women who were composed but not passive, soft-spoken but never insignificant. She reshaped strength itself, proving that power does not always raise its voice. Behind the screen, Audrey struggled. She lived with anxiety, with self-doubt, with an eating disorder rooted in wartime trauma. Control over food became a way to manage fear. Audrey married twice. Her first marriage, to actor Mel Ferrer, was intense but emotionally unstable. She longed for security more than passion. Together they had a son, Sean Hepburn Ferrer, whom Audrey loved deeply. Her second marriage, to Italian psychiatrist Andrea Doody, brought another son, Luca Doody. But this relationship, too, was marked by distance and disappointment. More than fame, Audrey wanted a safe home, a family that felt permanent. As she grew older, her priorities shifted. Audrey began stepping away from acting, not because she was fading, but because she was choosing differently. In the late 1980s, she devoted herself fully to humanitarian work as a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador. She traveled to some of the poorest regions in the world: Ethiopia, Somalia, Bangladesh, Latin America. She returned to places shaped by hunger and conflict, places that felt painfully familiar. Audrey did not arrive as a celebrity. She arrived as someone who understood. She listened more than she spoke. She knelt to meet children at eye level. She once said, simply, "I know what it is like to be hungry." Her final years were not glamorous. They were meaningful. In 1993, Audrey Hepburn died from cancer at the age of 63. The world mourned a legend. But what history remembers most is not her beauty. It is her endurance, her restraint, her ability to transform suffering into gentleness rather than bitterness. Audrey Hepburn showed the world that elegance is not born from privilege. It is born from survival. And sometimes the most graceful people are those who learned how to remain kind after seeing how cruel the world can be.